Bridgeport, Connecticut is located along the coast of Long Island Sound in Fairfield County. Fairfield County is the wealthiest county in the state of Connecticut. Bridgeport is merely miles away from some of the wealthiest towns in the state: Westport, Weston, Darien, New Canaan, and Greenwich. Bridgeport has the lowest median household income in the county at approximately $50,000 a year, while nearby town of Westport averages around $250,000 and some zip codes in Greenwich as high as $800,000. Bridgeport's population also has the highest percentage of people of color in the county. Another way that Bridgeport is distinct from other towns is its air quality. It has consistently ranked among the worst air quality in the state. This poor air quality is shared by some neighboring towns, but the wealthiest towns that don't share borders with Bridgeport see lower levels of air pollution. Downtown Bridgeport is also home to the Wheelabrator Waste-to-Energy facility. It is the largest incinerator in the state of Connecticut and among the top 10 largest in the country.
I first got into doing research on air quality because I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Allegheny County. Allegheny County, Pennsylvania has ranked as one of the worst places to live in terms of exposure to hazardous air pollution. I started noticing that my asthma would be particularly bad on days that I would experience this smell, and there would be certain mornings when the smell would just be overpowering to the point where sometimes it would ruin my entire day.
The intended purpose of trash incineration is to get rid of trash while producing a form of non-fossil fuel-based energy. However, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, their emissions contain dangerous toxins. Incinerators release even more toxic pollutants than coal plants. They release toxic chemicals such as carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, dioxins, lead, and many more. Incinerators are often sited in marginalized communities, causing a disproportionate burden to be placed on nearby individuals.
P.T. Barnum is one of the major multi-unit family housing sites of public housing in Bridgeport, and is situated in a corridor that was zoned industrial. And so in that area is the waste management facility, Wheelabrator, and it is several hundred feet away from where over 1,100 people live. It also has the sewage treatment plant. It also has an asphalt mixing facility, along with other polluting industries. You can go out to P.T. Barnum Apartments and smell just horrible smells. Not only do you smell it, you can see the dust, and you can hear it because there's so many industry vehicles that are out there.
Bridgeport is considered an environmental justice community by the state of Connecticut. Environmental justice communities are more likely to face unequal environmental burdens due to systemic discrimination and lack of access to resources. Bridgeport residents face severe health impacts from exposure to air pollution. For example, residents face high rates of respiratory issues such as asthma. Approximately 14% of all asthma-related hospitalizations in the state occur in Bridgeport, and the rate of asthma mortality in Bridgeport is more than twice the state average.
Communities often have knowledge that people in local government don't have. There are these national standards for air quality that regulate certain criteria of pollutants. So when we reached quote unquote attainment with those criteria pollutants, there was a sense of, oh, we did it, we're good. Meanwhile, that smell that I'm talking about was consistent. It was still going on. The health impacts were still happening. And the knowledge of the community was more reflective of the real life conditions that people were living.
Community knowledge plays an important role in environmental justice efforts, and this grassroots organization is working to make their Bridgeport community more resilient.
PT Partners is a resident-owned initiative in public housing in Bridgeport for self-determination, in a very succinct way of saying it. So we look at residents in public housing as the drivers of our agenda, the drivers of what we advocate for and how we organize, because they are the owners, and not only are they the owners, they comprise the organization. The undergirding of our work is Black feminist organizing. It's organizing that is very relationship-based. So we are working through our relationships with each other to build our capacity to make change. Black feminist organizing also says we are leaderful, not leaderless. So you may not find an executive director at PT Partners. We make sure that being leaderful, that everybody has knowledge about the issues that we work on so that it's harder to divide us in that way. Empower Ed is a combination of PT Partners, an organization called Roundtable for Climate and Jobs, and the City of Bridgeport's Office of Sustainability. The idea is to have residents create an environmental justice curriculum that can be used throughout the city for all residents. And the reason why we needed that is because, one, the city doesn't provide that type of curriculum. The school system does not. We are not aware in this day and age of what environmental issues and climate issues are for our community. So we said if we put residents through the process of creating an environmental justice curriculum, then that would necessitate them learning about environmental justice. When government, in all its good intentions, attempts a remedy for an issue, they must think about many factors that localities have in common. They cannot focus on a solution that focuses on the specificity of each locality's issue. So by that process, they definitely miss some of the more important issues that need to be addressed within a community. And then what gets applied turns out to be much less effective than what people wanted. So when we are designing this curriculum, thinking about the mitigation efforts that we need to environmental harm, we're thinking about it from the most harmed point of view. So if I am the one most impacted by this issue, I can tell you or co-create with you a better solution because I can tell you how it impacts me. Without my input as the person that is most harmed or impacted by this, you don't really know the best solution because you can't possibly know the best solution because you don't know what the real problems are. It's mostly women who are leading this that have multiple marginalized identities. They're single mothers mostly. They are low income exclusively. They are Black and brown, overwhelming majority. They are oftentimes undereducated in the Bridgeport school system or school systems that are under-resourced, but they are strong, intelligent, and they have the desire and they show up, and we put in hundreds of hours of work every month. We take the money that we earn through donations and put it right back into supporting the community.
In the face of environmental injustice, community efforts like PT Partners and Empower Ed give marginalized voices power to stand up to problems that can seem enormous. By organizing and collaborating, even a small community can take on a challenge as big as Connecticut's biggest incinerator.